What the fuck is up, people? It's Brett and Circuses. Caleb Salvatore.
Yo, Nick Kohler, what's up, guys?
It has been a long week for all of us.
Yes.
It's these Friday shows are kicking our asses,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. You do what you can for the grind of it. But
Yeah.
how you been, bro?
It's been good. It's been a long week, dude. We've been all over the place this week doing all sorts of craziness, but it's finally springtime. Fucking the winter can piss off.
As
I'm concerned.
It's finally not a complete shit show outside.
Yeah.
It's I think the flooding is stopped for now.
Which is good.
For now.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll start back up.
They're predicting that more north up the rivers and everything from melting snow melts.
We might get a little bit of a break, but 2020 is coming up and the Democrats' leading candidate is about to have his career fucking ruined. So we might have some liberal tears coming to Florida, the second wave of floods in about a year and a half.
Which one is that?
Biden.
Biden? Oh, man. I don't even know if the Democrats have a leading candidate right now.
Well, he's the leader against Trump. So he's got the highest poll numbers. He definitely did
but
this shit.
It's hard for me to believe poll numbers when it comes to Democrats, considering their history of skewed polls.
That's true.
Who the fuck are they polling? The 14-year-olds in high school or something like that?
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, the weird thing about Biden is the same people that were freaking out about Kavanaugh and were freaking out about you can throw back to Clarence Thomas are, we need to wait for the details to come out. I'm like, look at the videos of him basically molesting young girls at national events. And I always tell people, if they're doing this shit in public, what do you think they're doing in private? And that's for anything. So it's when the camera's on them and he's groping a 12-year-old's chest, what the fuck is this guy doing in private?
Yeah, man. It's really disgusting to see just all the hypocrisy that goes on in politics.
Oh my god.
Right-wing
Both
fucks
sides.
do it. Yeah,
Both
right-wing
sides.
fucks do it too.
Yeah.
But the left-wing guys, the left-wingers try to their thing that they think makes them better is their morality. We care and we're so compassionate and everything.
It's their team.
Yeah, but then you get these instances like this with Biden on TV, literally smelling people's fucking
It's
hair
so
and
weird.
Stuff. It's who does that?
That's why, with the Kavanaugh thing, you've got a 30-year-old accusation, or maybe even more than that, accusation, and there's no, but this is Biden. You've got a guy fucking on video smelling and grabbing people.
Yeah.
I'm I don't have any doubt that he did that. It's
my thing I see with the Democrats is dude, I don't know if any of them fuckers can beat Trump, man.
No, I think Biden's the only one.
I don't even think Biden
Not
can.
anymore.
Yeah,
no.
They were going to try and run the same kind of Obama politics with Hillary, and that didn't work.
No.
The only reason Hillary won the popular vote was California.
Yeah.
California, she won by 2 million votes.
Yeah.
So that
they want to have any fucking a snowball's chance at winning, they've got to they need something from outside the box, and they don't have
need
that.
to run a moderate candidate, man.
But that's what Hillary was.
No, fuck no.
She was a warmonger, but she was
not a moderate left-wing candidate, man. She was running platforms on taking away pistols from people.
Well,
she was basically
that is moderate in today's Democratic Party.
No, she was she was basically going to be Obama 2.0. What their administration was doing, she was just going to keep on doing it. And that was by no far any means any moderate left-wing anything.
Bernie Sanders was the closest they had to a maverick, and they fucked him over. I really feel like he would have beat Trump. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I don't even know if
he would have. There's a lot of people that don't like socialism in the country, even though the internet would go against that. But
that's true. The internet's the internet.
I'll tell you this, man. It was pretty crazy. My the school I go to, our teacher for one of my classes is from Venezuela, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so far everybody knows what's going on in Venezuela, or at least if you don't, you should go read up on it. But she was we kind of dodged the subject the whole semester so far, last 8 weeks or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally today, because it was a Friday and we had nothing better to do, we started talking about it. And she was like, dude, fuck socialism. She was like, that shit does not fucking work. Before socialism, Venezuela was a rich fucking oil, gold, gems driven fucking economy, strong. And then the fucking left wingers came in with all these socialized everything and it ruined the country.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Well, Chavez.
Oh yeah. Hugo Chavez. That's who started it.
Yeah, Chavez. Like, and it didn't happen overnight. She said it happened over 25 years, and you got doctors there in Venezuela that can barely afford food.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you got people fucking. We talked about it when you were gone, and we had Sean and Ricky on, and fucking Sean was telling the story about how he went to the steakhouse, bought a steak, didn't finish it, took it home, and gave what was left of it to his dogs. So you have dogs in America that are eating fucking pretty good meals, and then you have people in Venezuela that are hunting dogs.
She was telling me you hear people try to denounce like that stuff is actually happening, like, oh, it's not really mass spread, that like people are eating out of trash cans or people are getting gunned down by militias that are trying to take foreign aid. It's like, no, she's like, that shit's really happening. I literally talked to my sister last weekend, who is a fucking engineer in Venezuela. Yeah. And she was like, yeah, she can't afford
making $7.50 an hour.
Well, she can't afford food. Is just so expensive. She's like, they literally couldn't afford food this weekend. Like, and she's an engineer in Venezuela. And it's like that was last weekend. I'm just like, yeah, that she. So you have just
engineers and doctors living paycheck to paycheck.
Yes, in Venezuela.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not just Venezuela though. They deny that the shit that goes on in North Korea happens.
No,
like, you're fucking blind. You're so polarized that you're willing to just deny fact. It's the same thing as Holocaust denial. I mean, really?
Yeah,
it's not any different
because it's there. I mean, the biggest problem with North Korea is that they are literally starving because they don't produce enough food, and what their government does is they completely box out every other foreign people other than like China.
Right.
So like basically the food that they get is from China, like giving them what they can. And the reason that they don't produce enough food is because they don't have modernized industry, like for farming. Like they don't have machines that harvest rice. Like they don't do all that stuff.
Because they seize the means of production.
Well, they just have to do it manually, and that stuff is clearly not enough to feed their country. That's why they starve so bad.
That's transhumanism, like when we had Zoltan Isfan on, was talking about. Like, you need some fucking automation. Yeah, you can't just like.
Well, yeah, they can't afford like the things like American farmers take for granted, like combines and tractors.
Yeah.
Like, they have none of it. They have to rely on like medieval like horse pulling, ox pulled carts. Yeah,
like you've got people literally like basically still living in the Stone Age.
Yeah, basically, or medieval times over there. Yeah, like basically,
that's fucking crazy.
It is.
That I mean. And
things are starting to get better over there now that Trump made the war end over there. Now South Korea will start hopefully working with North Korea a little bit more. I mean, we're taking good steps over there, but it's probably going to, like, the people like our age living over there aren't going to see it in their lives. Like the city get anywhere near South Korea.
It's a long ways away. Yeah. The problem is though, when you merge those two countries, North Korea becomes South Korea's burden. So you've got a thriving country, and obviously there's poor parts of South Korea.
Well, South Korea
poor parts of the U.S.
Thriving though, man, because they've like completely taken over a lot of industry.
But you've got a thriving country that's going to inherit an equal sized power. Is it equal? I don't know. I know it's close. An equal sized population that is.
It's, well, I actually don't know because you can't trust any North Korean.
That's true.
Statistics.
You can't trust anything.
Yeah, Zach. I don't know if you can pull up at all, like any kind of statistics on any kind of outside like North Korean population. You can't go off of their government census because they're going to inflate it.
The point I was trying to make was you're going to have an entire. Basically the same size population you're going to inherit that is
North Korea is roughly half of South Korea. South Korea is almost 49 million. North Korea is almost 25 million.
So you've got a third of your population is now going to be entirely dependent. You've got generations of a third of your population that's going to be entirely dependent on welfare in the state.
For a little while.
I know, for a while. It's going to be fucking tough.
They're going to, it's going to be a long road. Like eventually, if those two countries work together and they can still even be North and South. But if those two countries start to work together to make Korea as a whole a better place, then maybe in like 50, 100 years, like the North Korea will be up there. But they're going to that's a scar on them as having no foreign like anything for the past 50, 60 years. Like it's damned them for the next 100 years, probably.
Well, that's if anything gets done.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of at a standstill right now, aren't they?
Venezuela is kind of in the same situation as North Korea, as like North Korea is with China, because China, like that, North Korea, say what you want, North Korea is a Chinese puppet state.
Definitely.
Venezuela is kind of the same thing with Russia and China, man. They like Russia and China basically steal all the fucking resources out of Venezuela. Well, they didn't steal, like Venezuela government from then like sold all of it to other countries.
Socialism. The leaders are rich.
The government just like the politicians that are just pocketed the money. So they didn't see it at all. Like Hugo Chavez's daughter is like one of the richest people in the world. You know that?
I believe it.
Yeah, because she inherited all that fucking dirty money. I believe it.
Yeah, absolutely.
She tried that. My teacher was telling me that she's like, oh no, she tried to claim that she was selling like cosmetics.
Oh, fuck off. Yeah, no,
nobody fucking buys that.
Jeffree Star. I mean, no, it's
nobody buys that shit that she was selling. Like Mary Kay products.
People won't even buy cosmetics that were tested on rabbits. Why the fuck are they gonna buy it from a country with human rights violations up the ass? Well, I mean, vegans are a little weird, so maybe, but, it's like, who the fuck are they going to answer to, though? If somebody comes after them, I mean, you disarmed your whole population. No, they have no one to answer to.
No. And then what happens if their population does, like, Russia has literally sent troops there into Venezuela.
Well, on the note of the revolution thing, did you hear that that congressman that threatened to nuke the United States is going to run for president?
Oh, my God.
That Eric Swalwell.
Yeah, I remember that, where they were just like, well, if they don't disarm them, I mean, we got nukes. It's like, the fuck you mean you got nukes?
Yeah, like, did you really? Okay, first off, the fact that jackass was reelected shows how fucked up partisan politics in the United States are. It's he's got a Democrat now. He's got a D next to his name. That's the thing, though, is it's like, you had a dude that literally threatened to wipe out the entire population of the United States, and you voted for him because he has a D next to his name.
I'm just going to say, I really hope that guy runs for president, because he's not going to win.
No, and they'll just fucking pull that tweet over and over and over again.
Running for president is super expensive, so he's going to spend a fuck ton of money, and that's I mean, that's good for the economy.
Yeah, waste your money on the fucking marketing campaign. Absolutely, that's a good. Actually, I hope he does.
I hope more people.
I hope they all just keep running for president. Just waste your time and money.
And the more people, they don't realize, the Democrats, that the more people that run for president over there, the left wing is so fractured right now.
Yeah.
Like, nobody has any kind of consistency as to what they want. That, dude, there's no way they're going to come together and beat Trump.
No, they're so split.
Yeah, Trump won by a very marginal size. But, I mean, dude, the meme machine is going to kick off. People are going to see that Trump hasn't done they know Trump hasn't done all bad. I mean, the fucking media smear campaign by the internet for the past 4 years is going to, totally just
it shows how tone deaf the media is, because the average voter in those swing states, the blue collar voter that works 9 to 5, fucking just wants to go home and hang out with his kids. He might watch the news once a week. He doesn't give a shit about Russia. He doesn't give a shit about Trump bashing the CIA or talking bad about John McCain, which I actually support him doing. I wish he would keep doing that. And he doesn't give a fuck about that. You know what he does? He looks at his paycheck. He sees that he's taking home more than he was 4 years ago. And he sees that he's paying less in taxes than he was 4 years ago. And that's how he votes.
Yep.
That's exactly how he's going to vote. And that's why they're so fucking tone deaf. If they wanted to attack Trump, they would go after the fact that Americans are spending more money on credit than they ever have.
Yeah, they would go after the fact that the economy boost is off of credit, which is not good. That's not.
I mean, it's good if it gets paid back, but it's so high on credit right now. And then the fact that the housing bubble is going to. I mean, that's what they would go after if they weren't so fucking tone deaf. I don't give a shit about Trump mocking John McCain. Well, I look at it in a positive light. But seriously, the best thing Obama ever did was keep John McCain from becoming president.
But talking about some of the different people, like Kathy Gibbard, she's
who's that?
The
comedian?
Tulsi Gibbard, right?
Tulsi Gabbard.
That's right.
She's not bad.
Well, she's not bad, but she goes with the typical, many of the typical left-wing extremist views that people don't want in the world, even though the internet would fucking say otherwise. No, the regular person that doesn't spend all their time arguing on Facebook doesn't fucking care about any of that. Well, you got like Beto O'Rourke. Like I know they've tried doing smear campaigns on him, but like he doesn't run on anything.
No.
Like my wife is a big supporter of Beto O'Rourke.
Are you gonna get in trouble?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we literally were talking about this the other night, and like I think Beto O'Rourke is a nice guy and he's charismatic. The fact that they're trying to say, "Oh, you had a fucking
the DUI,"
like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Dude, George W. Bush was a full blown alcoholic.
He was a cokehead too, and a cokehead.
Yeah.
Like,
so was I guarantee you, Bill Clinton was too.
Like, I mean, Bill Clinton's a rapist, so
that as well.
Yeah, but no, I mean, like, who the fuck cares? But Beto O'Rourke doesn't run on anything, and like, she was like, oh, well, he's like really trying to, work and make the border easier, like make it easier to become a citizen, which I fully support.
Right, same.
But it's like, dude, we care about that, but I mean,
they say that until they get in office, though.
Well, that and like, dude, people, the person in Ohio, the blue collar worker in Ohio, you were talking about,
still doesn't give a fuck. No,
and in Iowa and Philadelphia or in Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, those people don't give a fuck about that stuff.
No, sir.
No, they say they do, but when it comes down to it, they don't.
No, they look at their paycheck.
Yeah,
that's what they look at.
If the Democrats want to beat Trump, man, they've got to be less left wing. They have to be more moderate because nothing is going to make the swing states vote blue unless they are more moderate.
I think they got to go out of the box. Like you got to find somebody.
Not out of the box, more left wing. They got to go out of the box.
You can't find a fucking politician though, because I think people are bored of these old white people that come up and they're, I mean, look at the last two presidents. People are bored of old white politicians. The last two presidents, you had a black guy, and now you've got a fucking reality TV host, right? I mean, obviously he's done other things and hosts reality TV shows.
That's funny. That like the big thing everybody now remembers Trump for is that he's
The Apprentice.
Yeah, that he's a reality star.
He's a real estate mogul, and give him credit where it's due. I mean, he played the real estate game with what he had and won. The
Democrats think somebody like AOC is gonna like shake up left wing politics. You know how she's shaking it up? Like nobody likes her. Nobody. The only people that like her are like brown women of her age. That's the only people.
I mean, I would fuck her.
What is that? That doesn't have anything to do with politics. So it's like
I would definitely redistribute my wealth into her vagina. That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, like. People have like non-mainstream media outlets have done a good job of showing that she is just another member of the swamp, like fucking paying out her boyfriend. And,
dude, she might go to fucking jail for that. Yeah,
so it's like
and that would make one hot prison porno.
Oh my God, dude, she's not even that good looking.
I'm gonna perv over AOC all night tonight.
She is not that good looking. She's just what I look at is that she's the fucking. Not to go full conspiracy mode.
Right.
I swear she is a Republican plant.
So if she's a Republican plant, do you think Alex Jones could be a Democrat plant?
I don't think so. I think Alex Jones is just crazy.
Yeah. I used to think it was an act, but after seeing him on Rogan and seeing the videos of him freaking out at people in restaurants. I think he's just crazy. No, he needs help.
Hear me out though. AOC, right? Yeah. Everything she says is dumb. Everything she fucking runs her stuff on. The Green New Deal was a laughing stock among the country. There's nobody that was
56-0.
There was seriously nobody out there that was like, oh yeah, let's do something. Good idea.
Oh, I mean, fucking morons. Probably,
I never met anybody in real life. I've never met anybody in real life that was like, oh yeah, AOC, let's hear her out. Like, no. She had to have been like, there's no way somebody that fucking just foolish could be a politician. You know what I mean?
But she has an economics degree from Boston University. Dude,
she won in like 2 different like voting areas. Like she could, it was like ridiculous.
I hate that we associate having a college degree with being qualified to speak on anything. Like if you've got a doctorate or whatever, okay, then we can talk. You got a fucking bachelor's in economics. Congratulations, dude. I can copy and paste to my online textbook too. Yeah. It's not that fucking hard. So I don't like how we associate, or she throws that in everybody's face. Who else has an economics degree from Boston University? Oh, I don't know, bitch. Probably like thousands of people.
Many people have bachelor's degrees in this country.
A lot of people have bachelor's degrees.
Bachelor's degrees are honestly not that hard to get.
They're just expensive.
They're expensive, yes.
So congratulations, you have debt. Yes, that's all.
If you want to shell out the $100,000 to do it, really, you just kind of got to show up to class and like kind of study.
Right? Yeah, you fucking can pass with a C-. Yes. It's not difficult.
Not that hard.
And
it's expensive.
It's expensive. It's hard to pay back. Yeah. But it's not hard to get.
Like marriage.
Expensive, hard to pay back, but not. No, marriage might be a little hard to get. for some guys.
Oh fuck no! Even in the military, it's not.
Well,
all you gotta do is say, you want some of them benefits, girl.
That's
She's
true.
fucking
The
legs up in the air. Make 3 kids out of me, baby.
And you're gonna make it. And that first kid's gonna pop after dating for 6 months, or after being married for 6 months, after you dated for 3 weeks.
Yep.
And you got that sweet 22.9% interest rate on a Dodge Challenger.
Yeah, you're making that extra $1,200 a month, baby. Hell yeah, it's all worth it. So yeah,
we're gonna sit there and shop on Amazon.
Yeah, you're gonna be in the field, and she's gonna be shopping on Amazon, spending all your money. That goes for the men out there too, doing the same shit, buying car parts for their 2001 fucking Silverado.
Silverado.
Yeah.
Fucking Mazda Miata.
Yeah.
No, that's the wife. Drives the Miata.
Yeah. Miata is kind of a chick car.
Miata's definitely a chick car, and it's
those,
like
real small cars like that.
So you can get like a nicer Miata, but it's still like it's like pores flexing.
Yeah.
It's like
a Mustang or something.
Right. Yeah. It's like buying a nice Mustang. That's different. It's like buying a entry-level Mustang. Right. It's like
a Mustang that's not like
I have something that looks cool on the outside, but really it's not shit.
Yeah, Miatas are only like base level Miatas are like
$24,000.
No, like 24.
Oh, it's more.
Yeah, I looked into it actually. Just out of curiosity.
You're like, I want a Miata.
Yeah, just out of curiosity.
How about 5?
Not 5. I think Mazdas are cool. Like I learned to drive stick on like a Mazda 4. Like it was a nice car, but
yeah, I learned to drive stick when I worked in the car business. I like fucking apocalypse. I have to figure out how to get the fuck out of there. I could probably figure it out again, but I would prefer not to do it.
Well, I like driving stick, man. If you're not in too hilly of an area like California or something like that, like driving stick is fun. Like obviously you can't like text and drive as easily, which is probably better for everybody. You have to be paying attention a lot more. Can't smoke and drink.
Actually, man, if you're gonna get like a 16-year-old kid a car and you know how to drive stick, it'd probably be best to get him a stick so he can't text.
Yeah, because you literally need to have both hands like working.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. Dude, even automatic, it's inconvenient as fuck when I have to drive with my knees because I want to take a drink of my beer and I have to don't want to put my phone down. Like that drives me crazy.
Driving manual is really underrated because it's like a really good anti-theft device. Like nobody knows how to drive stick. That's a good point. Yeah. You then leave your fucking car unlocked with nothing in it with a manual, and all that's gonna do is some dude's gonna break in there and fucking stall it out. He might break your mirror off just to fucking be pissed off if your car isn't stolen.
That's true.
If you have like a 92 like fucking Honda Civic that's in standard. Like, who the fuck cares if the mirror breaks out? It's $20 to get that shit fixed.
Right. That's like my first car was a fucking 97 Ford Escort that was worth about like $500. So like,
I don't even know what an Escort is.
It's a piece of shit.
That's how you know your first car should honestly be a car that isn't still in production.
Like, right. Yeah. So you can appreciate a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You can appreciate your new car when you drive a piece of shit.
Yeah. Your first car should be like a Buick Century, like something that you have to Google image search to know
exactly.
What it is.
Well, that's like, dude, there were fucking. See, I drove that car till it broke. Till like it was literally worth more to fix it than it was to get a new one.
My same car I bought first buy was I bought $2,000 on a 2001 fucking GMC Sierra. I drove that thing for 40,000 miles until the engine literally had a hole.
Fuck
in it, like a penny-sized hole.
Fuck yeah! Well, that's like with my my Escort. There was a dent in the side of it because it had broken down for like the 3rd time that week when I was with my friend. And he was in the car with me every single time. And the 3rd time, I'm like, you're a bad luck charm, Christian. So there was a dent in the side because I got out and I kicked the side of the car so hard. It was a piece of shit. But no, I never used to lock the doors because I'm like,
the fuck is gonna steal this?
Number one, no one's gonna steal this. Number two, I don't have anything in my car of value, so I'd rather somebody just open the door than break the window to find that out. And fucking the window's worth more than the car.
You know what somebody would do if they opened up the door and looked in that car? They'd just go and shut it and leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you want the 37 cents and change in the console? Go right the fuck ahead.
What are you gonna do, bro? Steal my like one cassette tape
right,
that connects to my iPod?
Actually, that was the thing though, is I was pissed because I put a nice stereo in that, and the stereo was probably worth more than the car.
You fucked up, dude.
Well, I sold it to a guy that I worked with to put on his boat. This Colombian guy. He's like, brother, before you turn that car in, will you give me the stereo? I'm like, yeah, I'll give it to you for $100. He goes, good. I'm going to put it on my boat. I'm like, okay. Like,
that's fucking cool.
Yeah, man. I know. So I sold it to him I got like $100 back for the stereo.
Yeah.
So, and it was a Christmas gift anyway. So,
yeah, fuck it.
so he could put it on his boat. So at least the stereo didn't just get scrapped with the rest of the car that I literally rolled into the dealership. I traded it in.
my like growing up in high school, man, like I was always hanging out with one of my friends through there, and he just like rotated off having these fucking shitty clunkers that were like always barely running. It was rotated off between a like I think it was like a Honda Accord, like a really old one. Mm-hmm. That might have been later on, but I always remember this green fucking Buick Century with like fucking and all the hubcaps off, like fucking the seats were all stained from like years of teenagers driving it and like food and all that bullshit, like semen stains from jerking off in your car.
Oh no, not that. Speak for yourself. We took that a totally different direction.
But no, and then that and like an Oldsmobile, I don't even know what it was, what the model was, like a Sabre maybe, I don't know.
That's a Buick. It's a Sabre.
No, it was a Buick Sabre, not a Century. Okay. But the back right door didn't work on that Buick because like you just couldn't open it. You had to climb in from the other way.
So it's like a NASCAR.
Yeah, basically.
You climb into the window.
And then that Oldsmobile, and I'm pretty sure like it lowered my life expectancy from riding in that because all the fucking the roof like cloth shit that's over the insulation was gone.
Are you serious?
So there was just the insulation, and every time that thing would like stop, dust would come out of that insulation, and you would like get it on you. And I'm pretty sure I built it, like breathed it in. I'm like, I'm getting mesothelioma, dude. This car is like from '91. Like my lungs are fucked now.
When I worked in the car business right out of high school, for some reason, I was 18, so I was a new kid, so I got suckered into driving this car down to the scrapyard in Council Bluffs or Carter Lake, excuse me. Even for those of you out of town, Council Bluffs is the haunted house in the bad neighborhood. Carter Lake's the cellar inside the house.
There's definitely dead bodies.
We're not. I'm actually. I don't want to get whacked for saying this on the air, so we're not going to talk about it. But no. So I'm driving this car down to fucking Carter Lake. This car is like literally the roof is held together by duct tape.
Nice. The more duct tape on a car, the less like it probably is to get broken into.
That's true. And then I'm like, why is there like a cold draft going up my pants? And I look down, the fucking floor had a hole in it. Like I could see the street where I was driving.
If you went and parked that somewhere where it was like, out in the country or something, there'd be a good chance a snake would crawl up into that car.
Oh, absolutely.
Can you imagine that? That would like.
Dude, if a snake crawled into the car while I was driving, I would probably.
Not while you were driving, like what was.
Well, no. If it like crawled in the car and while I got back in it and I was driving and it's just, I hear.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with snakes, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
You're Grand Theft Autoing, like jumping out of that.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking rolling.
Okay, well, I might stop and then get out. But
now that'll freak the snake out, man. That's going to bite you.
Oh, that's true.
You just got to hop out of there.
I hate snakes, man. It was the fucking devil for a reason in the Bible. Like, those things are not to be. If I ever saw a snake, dude, I'd fucking shoot it. Immediately, in my house, I'd shoot it.
You think because like, and I know Zach would know about this, like how the Bible was like translated from, it had to be translated from Hebrew by like scholars and stuff like so long ago, and they probably messed a lot of translations up and everything. Yeah. Do you think they really like literally said the Bible is a snake in that? Like
the devil was a snake?
Yeah, because Zach.
Well, Rick Ross said the devil is a lie.
Rick Ross is like
the devil is a lie.
Rick Ross is like defending Cardi B for like fucking drugging and stealing people.
Oh God. Okay, Cardi B. Is she a piece of shit? Yeah. And I tweeted this.
The thing is she used to be like a legit stripper. Like you can literally find a picture of Cardi B being a stripper and like showing her like asshole out on the.
Cardi B, is she a piece? Okay, so Cardi B drugged guys and robbed them, right? Is she a piece of shit? Yeah. But I don't. She's not Bill Cosby. Robbery is not the same as rape. Is it fucked up? Yeah. Is it wrong? Absolutely.
Man,
but she didn't drug guys and fuck them.
It goes, I think, to the brain differences between men and women, right? Like men will do fucked up stuff for sex, and then like just at the base level, women do fucked up stuff for money.
Yeah, like marrying men for their money.
Yeah, and then like stealing all their money and then divorcing them. Like,
because that's the thing.
Yeah,
men are dating back to however long ago. It's easier for men to get money. For the most part, it always has, but not as much as it used to be. They've even the playing field a little bit more.
Not necessarily like it's easier for men to make money.
We get better jobs, longer or better paying jobs because we work more hours.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's easier for women to get sex. Sex is free for women.
Yeah, it really is.
Sex is, even if you don't hire a proprostitute, by the time you pay for drinks and dinner, you're $150 deep before you're balls deep. You might as well just hire a hooker, man.
Yeah. Because how often do you hear about like a man marrying like a fucking Fortune 500 woman?
Not very often.
Not even Fortune 500, but like one of the
wealthiest, a rich woman for her money.
Yeah, super rich lady. Maybe she got it from inheritance. Maybe she started a company, whatever the fuck, right? And then her getting fucked over in a divorce and just having all her money get taken from her. Like,
that's true.
It's happened like maybe a few times.
Yeah, it's not that often.
Not enough to where I can remember a very good case of it.
Nick Lachey.
Who?
That's it. Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson. That's it.
Oh no, Kevin Federline and Britney Spears. There's another one.
I thought Kate didn't get anything back in the day.
Did Kate get fucked?
He got
they were
famous
for like 7 days.
Yeah, I think they got that shit annulled. Like, but I can think of a couple off the top of my fucking head, like Jeff Bezos for one. Recent, he
got more than that.
No,
he got like
she got like half of it though, didn't she? I mean, dude, a third of like 9
I know
billion.
that's what. No, she got a fourth of it,
Yeah.
and they're making this huge deal that is, she's only getting a fourth. Blah blah. That it was $36 billion.
Yeah, that's still,
if your kids, your grandkids, and your great grandkids can't live off $36 billion, then like not fuck investing it. Fuck, just let it sit in a savings account. If you and the next 3 generations of your family can't live comfortably off that, then you're fucking doing something wrong.
Yeah, I will never make that much money in my
life,
ever,
absolutely. Probably. Don't say
probably not.
Never. You might.
Probably not, though. Jeff Bezos is like a fucking super villain rich.
He looks like
he's like Lex. He's literally like Lex Luthor.
He looks like a super villain.
And I'm sure that his ex-wife put up with some bullshit. I bet.
I'm sure he fucked around on her. I'm sure he fucked around on her.
Maybe not even that, but I'm sure just he's a total.
No, he did fuck around on her.
Okay, well, yeah. So yeah, he's a total prick.
Yeah,
like that just supports my cause. Yeah, he is.
He fucked around on her.
She might have done it to him, though.
I'm sure she fucked around on him, too.
Probably. She's driving around in a fucking Miata. Like. She's driving like the super.
She's got the
Miata.
the $36,000 Miata.
That shit's a convertible, dude.
Yeah, with the fucking soft top.
Yeah.
Flips it off in the winter. Jeff Bezos' wife drives a Miata.
Yeah, dude. A nice one.
A nice one. That's right. Yeah, it's got the fucking the sport package.
Yeah,
you know, she's got
super
heated
seats, baby. It says SS on the car.
she's got the heated seats.
Fuck
the leather.
Hell,
dual color interior, dude. It's crazy.
Man,
they try to charge you like $1,500 more for a dual color interior. I'm like, you're an idiot if you pay that.
They try to charge you like $400 more to literally get like the word Miata stamped on the door.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, I love when I was going to the car. You're going to the car dealership and you're going to lease a car, and they're like, they're telling you how when you go to the finance booth, and they're like, oh, you need to get this, and this, paint protection, gap insurance, blah, 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 which gap insurance you can make the argument for, but paint protection, all this bullshit. And it's like, okay, like this is a lease. I'm going to turn this car in 3 years. If this shit is so great, why wouldn't you give it to me for free to protect your investment? Because this is your car after 3 years. Wouldn't you just give this to me for free to increase the value of this car when you get it? Oh, no, you would? Oh, well, then fuck you. It's a scam, which most things that go on in car dealerships are scams. I could do a whole podcast by myself. Yeah. Yes, I could do a whole podcast where I just talked for an hour and blew the fucking lid off the secrets that go on there. I will. I did some things I'm not proud of. I'm not going to say things that'll get me sent to jail, though. Yeah, no, I worked for a car dealership. It was like an official, like brand,
a certified
right?
one, yeah.
It was the shadiest one in the city, and it's got a reputation for. I'm not going to drop names. You probably know what I'm talking about if you live here. Yeah, it's not.
It wasn't like fucking Tito's car garage.
No.
That,
Galaxy Motors.
Yeah, it used to be. It's on a corner that used to be a gas station.
Yeah,
now it's got a bunch of ragtag
it's got a bunch of
fucking cars chilling out.
And you've got like a bunch of convicted felons that are selling there.
Hell yeah! No, it's 2 convicted felons, and then there's like a girl there that's like just like.
The girl that gets passed around.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is I always, whenever I have like female friends or girls that I'm dating or seeing or whatever that are thinking about like, oh, I could go be a secretary for a car dealership. No. Any women out there that are thinking about working in a car dealership, that's sales, that's maybe parts or like service is a little different because you're not around the salesman. Most car salesmen, not all, most car salesmen are dirtbags. They're doing that for a reason. They're dirtbags. I was a dirtbag, not to the point where I was like sexually harassing people. I mean, I was doing sleazy shit on the business side. I wouldn't dream of fucking harassing somebody.
I feel like that's like par for the course with car dealerships too.
It is.
That's like the first thing you think of with like a car salesman,
sleazeball.
The fast talking sleazeball and like a cheap tie.
Well, that's the thing is it's like it's not that like women, I'm not trying to say like, oh, women can't sell cars. No man's going to respect you. That's not what I'm saying at all. Because women actually, if they're halfway good at cars, they're better than car sales. They're better than most dudes.
Yeah,
because dudes will buy cars from women because they want to sleep with them.
Yeah,
they'll do that. Man. And then they'll try to go, get a number, man. She's into me. No, dude, she's into you like your waitress is into you. She wants your money, then she doesn't give a fuck. Like, so women are actually better at selling cars than most dudes. But the problem is, it's just not worth it to be fucking sexually harassed.
It's
like
the sleaze, man. Yeah, for real. It's like it'd be like I'm trying to think of another job that's known for sleazy.
None of them are that bad.
Yeah, right. Yeah, probably not even as much as a car dealership, man.
No.
It's probably like up there on.
I know the military gets a bad rap, but
the military though, like it's not like people acknowledge that it's there and it's not something. It like
it's not under the
sleaze.
Table.
Yeah, the sleaze is like stuff that people look negatively upon. Like they don't just ignore it. They're like, well, they'll talk shit on it. They don't want that around, and it's such a small percentage. But that small percentage is so loud.
Yeah,
yeah. So like, I think maybe in my unit, like the entire 5 times. Now, keep in mind, it was just a bunch of guys, but I mean, they say in the military is more frequently to have a guy on guy sexual assault than it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's just like prison.
Well, I don't even know if it's like stuff to like get a nut off or anything. It's more of like shit where like a guy fucking goes up to a dude like he doesn't like in the unit or something like that and like fucking pulls his pants down or something.
That's
like
considered assault.
That is sexual assault because
I guess
literally the by the book definition difference between assault and harassment is assault has physical contact.
Okay,
that's where it crosses the line. If there's any physical contact or like if you're blocking, they call it blocking your egress. So it's like if you're like, corner somebody and you like put your hand up above them and they can't get out, they consider that sexual assault as well.
Okay.
So,
I could see that.
Yeah. Cause I mean, you got to think like old fucking private girl Snuffy comes in there. She's the driver for the fucking, high up 3-star general or somewhere. And he's like, oh, hey girl, you want a little bit of promotion? How about you fucking give me a little something in the parking lot over here or something like that.
Does that happen?
It does happen, man. That's what all those like top generals in the military as a whole are getting like fucking busted up for because they do it a bunch of times.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't there a huge scandal? It was like with the Marines.
I think it was the Navy.
I think it was the
Navy that there was like an admiral.
Facebook group. No, it was like a Facebook group where they were putting nudes or pushing nudes around.
That sounds like some shit some fucking bonehead Marines would do.
They're eating their crayons.
Yeah, I love hanging out with Marines, man. Like it's funny, but the Marines are like it's like
until you start to use too big of words, like California.
The thing with Marines is it like being in like a frat house, but like the frat house of like
with a GPA of 1.3,
very average GPA.
Yeah, cumulative GPA of 1.3.
Yeah, like because like I was an infantryman when I was in, so but like the kind of shit we would do is kind of like what all the Marine Corps does.
Yeah.
So that's like even they're like fucking they're plungers or they're plumbers.
The stereotype come from that they're just all stupid. Or is it a true stereotype?
Stupid is like it's hard to define stupid in that sense. You know what I mean? I would say bad decision makers maybe, but not even that. Like the Marine Corps, like from what I've got from all my Marine buddies and everything, is it's like they're gung ho. Like they treat their pogues a lot harder than the Army treats their pogues. They're a little bit higher of physical standard.
Yeah.
But they kind of have to be because they get way less funding than everybody else in the military does.
True.
So like you kind of like. It kind of goes hand in hand, but like the more funding you have, the more fucking cushy it is. Like the Air Force is like super cushy because like it's a lot of money. But you know, you go to like a fucking Marine barracks or something like that, and it's literally like a fucking dingy shanty town. Shit, man, got cockroaches in the fucking bathroom sink in there and stuff.
Well, we're gonna have a former tank commander from the Bronze Star winner from the U.S. Army on next week.
He's an officer. He won't know half the stuff me and Zach will talk about. Officers don't. I mean, officers have their own unique experience.
You're gonna scare him off the show before he even comes on.
Man, I hope he comes on. I love talking to I love talking to Army veterans. Well, just in veterans in general, because like I mean, Zach can understand too. Like just the fact that you were in the military, there's just that connection,
right?
But like an officer's life and a warrant officer's life, like is just it's different experience in the military than it is to be like a Joe or be like an enlisted, to go in as a private,
right?
Work your way up to being an NCO.
Yeah,
it's different than going to college and immediately entering the military with like leadership.
I don't know if he was. Well, I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, if he went green to gold,
went to officer school or not.
There's like a really big respect for officers that went from green to gold. That's where like you started out as like a private to NCO and then went over to being an officer. So
okay.
Because but I mean, the thing is officers in enlisted have different jobs that they have to do within, like they're different parts of the cog. So
that's true.
they have slightly different experiences, or some would say majorly different, but it's still like deep down, it's still a military. You know what I mean? Like,
well, fuck. Yeah, we'll have to ask him when he comes on. I'm not 100% sure.
I worked with tank commanders, man. I was in a tank unit my entire time in the Army.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I was mechanized infantry. We rode along in these little tanks to keep up with the big tanks.
And that was in Somalia or the Horn of Africa?
Yeah, well, that we actually didn't take our tanks with us to Horn of Africa. But we did when we went to Kuwait. And I mean, Kuwait's not really like that crazy of a deployment.
Not anymore, no.
Some people would argue it not even is one, but modern day. I mean, if you went over during like Gulf War or something, that's a lot different.
Yeah, well, that's my dad was in Saudi Arabia in the Gulf War.
Yeah, so that's a lot different than like because they, you know, that's like them taking wounded from like the fucking toppling or pushing Saddam's forces out of Kuwait.
Well, that war was crazy because we lost more troops in traffic accidents than actual combat.
I think the real like fighting lasted like 10 days.
Yeah, it was not long.
It was just kind of
ass kicking. It was with shock and awe. Was that what it?
No, that was with Iraq.
Okay.
That was the invasion.
That was the second invasion. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Kuwait was really just kind of kicking Saddam's forces out of Kuwait. Like, I mean, Saddam, they did invade Kuwait. Like they set up military checkpoints and they were occupying.
Kuwait. After the Kurds.
Yeah. Well, the Kurds are up north.
Okay, never mind. See, I don't know my Middle Eastern geography well.
I challenge the people out there to delve into the fucking.
It's a shit show. I've tried, man. Once you start, like
the geopolitical, like everything that goes on over there, man, it is a fucking mess. Yeah, it is an endless loop.
I've somewhat because I've educated myself on the situation in Yemen. And that's the problem though, is one fucking situation is like hours of research. Like I can sit down and begin to have an intelligent discussion with you about that. But anything other than that, man, it's like
go look up like a history of like Kurdish insurgency in northern Iraq. Go look up the Iran-Iraq war, which is a humongous dude, the Iran-Iraq war was crazy, man. It was like one of the first like modern wars where you saw like mass like chemical weapons be deployed and like how they would actually be used. Like,
yikes. Yeah.
Like Saddam was using like chlorine missiles to like cut off troops to like go attack places.
At least their pools were clean.
Yeah. Dude, chlorine is like a crazy way to die too.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I had a English teacher in high school that told me his grandfather fought in World War One.
Yeah.
Where they used chlorine bombs and stuff on the artillery. And he was like, yeah, man, like you breathe in chlorine, you literally cough up your own lungs.
Oh my
God. Because chlorine like sucks up all the oxygen out of your lungs and you like spit them up. And it's like a terrible way to die, dude.
That's like that That 1,000 Ways to Die TV show. You ever watch that?
What's that? No.
It's like all
oh
these
yeah, I
weird
did
ways
actually.
that people die.
Yeah,
like,
they change all the names and they make it like super over the top. But
Yeah.
like that, but like those, they're like based off of stuff that really happened.
There was like one guy that was like, it was so disgusting. He like hooked a cow heart up to car jumpers in his car, and he fucked it, and it electrocuted him. That actually happened.
That might have like kind of happened, but I know they really embellished.
I'm sure they
stuff.
do.
They're like, oh yeah, Jared did this. He was a humongous douchebag.
Jared from Subway.
Yeah, no, he's a
Thank
pedophile,
God.
but...
Yeah, put a bullet in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude, he was bad, Jared. He was like, it wasn't just like, oh, we caught kitty porn on his computer. It's like, dude, he was going to Thailand and like buying child sex slaves. Like, Jared's a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
goes to Thailand to be in Thailand.
Nobody goes to Thailand for good reasons. No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he wants me to talk about it, but Zach's over there knows exactly what I'm talking about. But after the Jared scandal happened, I like wouldn't eat Subway for a couple months because I'm taking a bite of it. I remember I went like a couple days later. I was at work and we just stopped for lunch because we were driving a truck or whatever. And I stop and I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, this is like fucking children I'm eating right now. You know, this is
it's like literally eating a child.
These people were funded, or these people made money off a dude that was taking their money to fuck little kids. You know, and it just disgusted me to my core. And I didn't eat Subway for like a month.
I wonder if like that kind of stuff goes hand in hand with just being really successful. Because I mean, like,
kids, I hope not.
Yeah, well, the thing is like the people that you hear, like and it's very deeply alleged of, are like really like wealthy like people. Like,
yeah,
I mean, maybe they're just the people that can get away with it. But
a lot of it's bullshit. But because I mean, it's just internet conspiracies. But do you know what and it bugs me because like remember the Pizzagate thing?
Oh yeah,
and everyone's it's all fake. We brushed it off to the side so fast. I'm like, okay, was it bullshit? Probably, but it was Ben Swan. He did a video on it for it was like MSNBC or somebody like that. He did a video and he was talking about all the weird things about Pizzagate. He's like, is it fake news? We don't know. We're not alleging that anyone's affiliated with anything. Mm-hmm. And he shows he shows like all the connections that this pizza place had with like online pedophiles. Like their logo was extremely similar. You'll have to go watch it, but like their logo was extremely similar to like different logos that child molesters use on the dark web to like identify with each other. Mm-hmm. There were pictures on the Instagram that were like, and I've seen the Instagram pictures and it's really fucking weird. Like it looks like almost like sex dungeons that are like, maybe not in the pizza place, but like in the guy's house. And the emails that were leaked were really weird. Like it did seem like they were talking in some kind of code. Maybe it's bullshit. And it wasn't responsible. It wasn't responsible for Alex Jones to tell his already nut job listener base to go investigate, and then a guy walks in with a rifle and starts shooting. Yeah. Like, okay, that was completely irresponsible. But I think the fact that it was brushed off to the side so quickly, and the fact that Ben Swan got suspended without pay for like 6 months after that video came out.
Is it that crazy to believe a business like that is doing so? Like a small pizza joint is doing that too? Like, is that really the craziest thing?
But they served all the Washington, D.C. elite.
Yeah.
So that's like,
is that really that crazy to believe something like that was happening? No, like, look at the thing with what's his name? With the guy played Borat. What's his name again?
Oh, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, well, look at that thing with Sacha Baron Cohen going to Las Vegas, like the fucking Sin City.
Dude,
basically,
if you haven't seen This Is America with Sacha Baron Cohen, so the first couple episodes were hilarious. A lot of it's shit. A lot of it, I mean, it was a really good concept, but it just didn't execute the way I thought it was going to after the first couple episodes. Now telling OJ that he was a lady killer was pretty funny at the end, but I'm sorry, I just spoiled it. But if you watch that show, there's a scene where he's like talking to this yacht salesman.
In Las Vegas, right?
It was in Vegas, yeah. And he's pretending to be like this billionaire Italian playboy guy, whatever. And he's talking about he's telling the guy, he's like, let's say I need to move some things through my yacht, and he's implying drugs, whatever. Will there be space? And he goes, oh yeah, there'll be space. And he goes, let's say I need to move people. And he goes, will there be space? And he goes, oh, yeah, there'll definitely be space for people. Like, this dude was just going along with the fact that this dude's clearly trafficking human beings.
Well, yeah, his character was.
Yeah, the character. Yeah, I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen's not actually trafficking human beings that we know of. He could Kevin Spacey us. That show is outrageous, though. Did you watch any of that?
Yeah, well, so Sacha Baron Cohen decided to give that to the FBI, and they just didn't do anything about it.
No, that wasn't that was the one they didn't. No, there was one that was worse because that was the one that made it on. There was another one they uncovered like a pedophile ring.
Yeah, and
that was that's the one you're talking about. One. The sex trafficking thing was on air. Oh, but there was somebody. Yeah, they turned it into the FBI, and the FBI, of course, didn't do anything about it.
Yeah,
I forget. Will you pull that up, the Sacha Baron Cohen thing? Because I don't remember. Because it was something about Sacha Baron Cohen child sex ring. Like they uncovered something really nasty, and the FBI just like pissed off. That's all they told him.
They're just like. Mm.
Yeah, it was.
He was like in Vegas and talking to some high end like guy who was like telling him stuff you can do in Vegas, and like he was making a joke and insinuating like, oh, like what if I went to go get with like people that do stuff for money or whatever, and the guy was like, oh yeah, we can do that.
Is that it? What's Sacha Baron Cohen says he turned over disturbing who is America. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one.
So yeah, he's talking about like, he's insinuating, oh, like I want to buy prostitutes here. Can you find me people who can do it? And he's like, yes.
Can you find me one that's 14?
Yeah, he's like, can you find me young ones? Like the guy, I think it was like how young, and he was like 14. He's like, oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
And then Sacha Baron Cohen was like,
whoa.
And he didn't air it. He just turned it in the FBI, and the FBI didn't do anything about it.
Did you see the one where?
I'm sure they know. I mean, everybody knows that shit goes on there. You really think the FBI is going to do anything about it?
He had the guy. He went to he pretended to be this super liberal college professor, and he went to this like super like conservative red town, mining town that was kind of dying, and he told them, he's like, who wants to see a multi-million-dollar investment in whatever the town name is?
Yeah, into the community, and they're all like, yeah.
And he's like, well, it's your lucky day because we're gonna invest in a $20 million mosque.
They go people in the town that go, oh,
dude. The worst part though was like, he goes, so there's black people here, and that's enough. And Sacha Baron Cohen's character is like, you're right, you're very lucky to have black people here. And this guy cuts him off. He goes, no, he means that there's black people in this town, and they're not welcome here either, but we tolerate them. And it's like, oh my God.
Small town,
like,
fucking mining
shit.
Town. Yeah.
And then the mayor tried to come out and be like, oh no, none of those people are our citizens. And they like pulled up their fucking information. It's like, like some of them had mug shots from arrests in the town. And it's like, yeah, no, those are real people. Yeah. Like, your town sucks.
Where was that again? Was that in Alabama?
It was Arizona.
Alabama
was the Roy Moore thing.
Yeah.
Where he pretended to have the pedophile detector and it went crazy on Roy Moore.
And he like gets really uncomfortable.
He was sweating.
Yeah.
He was white knuckling his pants.
You see it. Yeah, you see him like sweating like profusely. He's nervous. He's like, I didn't read this.
Well, that's. I love how when Roy Moore lost that election, the Democrats heralded it as this huge victory. I'm like, no, like, yes, it was a red state. It's a dark red state. You won. But okay, consider who you were running against. And consider that it took allegations of being a child molester to beat a guy that would not comment on whether or not he thought gay people should get the death penalty.
A new younger red guy will run there and win.
Oh yeah, no, they'll get demolished. Yeah. You beat a guy by like 2%. That. Yeah, it's like, you should be happy. Congratulations, you won in a red state. But this guy had pretty damning evidence that he was a child molester. And he's going on saying, I mean, he defends Ku Klux Klan members. He's going on the record saying that gay people, he's like, well, I won't comment if gay people should get the death penalty. You beat that guy by 2 points. That's not a victory. That would be like the New England Patriots facing like a fucking high school team and winning by a field goal at the end. Yeah. It's like, that's not, you don't go home and brag about that. You say, what the hell did we do wrong?
Yeah. All right. I think that is time though. Next week we're going to be having
Tom Pernicke, Captain Tom Pernicke.
That's right.
Tank commander.
Yeah. So this guy's got a Bronze Star while he was over in Iraq, right?
I believe so. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Mm-hmm. It'll be an interesting conversation. And then after that, Sargon of Akkad.
That's right.
He's coming. 420 Sargon of Akkad. We will not be recording stoned. He might, but we're not.
Yeah, we won't be. But it'll be cool. It'll be
good
good
things don't
conversation
happen when I try to do that.
Yeah, we're trying to bring on some other good guests though. But as always, make sure you guys go throw a like over on our Facebook page, Big Bill Media. Go like the YouTube. Go
Raptor Den Studios for Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Red and Circuses. Follow us on everything, all the social media. You know where to go. What else? If you know any guests, that would be pimp.
Yeah, just shoot it.
Anyone that'd be interesting.
You are interested in coming on, hey.
We just like to talk to interesting people. Yeah. Like it doesn't have to be about any subject. Dude, like the most fun episodes we do are just Brodowns, where we just hang out with people and just talk. Like
for sure.
But buy our merch. Buy our
of course,
merch.
the shameless. Yeah.
I just paid off a $1,200 student loan. I'm hurting. Please go buy our merch because we need fucking money.
Yeah.
Peace out. I need fucking money. Peace out, y'all.